Fans are saying something about her is nothing about her at the grand opening in West Hollywood. We've also got Bethany Frankel getting turned down by Chanel in her latest TikTok social experiment. And Kim Kardashian is now besties with Gypsy Rose. So let's get into it. You're listening to No Filter with Zach Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We have a lot to break down today, but here to break it down with me, I'm not doing today's podcast solo, is my good buddy, Chef Stu O'Keeffe.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Too much energy for 9 a.m.
You know what's so funny is I was watching the intro play right now, and I would notice Lala's in the intro.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "You're so team Lala, and she's so blah blah," and everyone hates Lala right now. All the rabid fans that are foaming at the mouth as they watch Vanderpump Rules every week, they hate Lala, and I just realized she's in my interview with her is in the opening. Yeah. I've also had Ariana on this show and had wonderful interviews with Ariana, Sandoval, Schwartz. They've all been on the show before. The only one that hasn't been on is Katie Maloney, but I don't really care for her.
Katie Maloney.
Yeah. We were supposed to go to something about her yesterday.
Yeah. And you were shooting your podcast, and I
was
like, okay, I'm going to drive over there and we'll kind of see. And then I pass it and I text Zach and I'm like, we're not going today. There's like 150 people outside. It's what, like 10:30 a.m. or something like that. And I'm just like, another day.
It was funny though, because we were talking and we have been meaning to like meet up to grab like coffee or lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's go to something about her. Like it opens on what? Like they already did their soft opening. I thought they had already did their press opening. So I was like, you know what? Like who's going to be like, what people are available at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning to go get a sandwich? Like, you know, like I didn't think it was going to be like, obviously I expected it to be busy, but I didn't think it was going to be line around the block sort of busy. At 10 a.m. on a fucking Wednesday.
No,
and so
I knew it was. Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, it's going to be one or the other. Like either it's going to be super packed or not. And like, listen, I would have expected people to have waited like for the weekend to like go. And I mean, I don't know. I expect that people have jobs, but I forget this is LA and everybody's, you know, either a bartender or an Uber driver. And their Instagram bio says that they're an actor.
They're all coming in from the Inland Empire, 100%, Palm Springs, everything.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was so busy. And that's why because I had a tape no filter and then I had to go in the studio to tape the pop report, which went long. And so Stu was texting me and he's like, I'm going to pass by and see how busy it is. And he's like, there's like 120 people in line already and it's 10:30. But there's been a lot of like feedback about the opening from people that were there, positive and negative. We'll get into both of it. But first, I wanted to announce that I am going to be back at Schwartz and Sandy's this upcoming Tuesday for the reunion watch party. So if anyone is available, come on down to Schwartz and Sandy's this upcoming Tuesday. Come hang out with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. Our last one, we were giving out jewelry and Stu was passing out shots of whiskey.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was funny. It was a fun time. So if you want to wrap up Vanderpump Rules this upcoming Tuesday, I'm going to be back at Schwartz and Sandy's. The watch party begins at 8 p.m. and then we'll have some fun shenanigans immediately following the show. So I suggest you go on Resy right now and book a table because they fill up pretty fast. Tables filled up last time. So if you want a table at Schwartz and Sandy's, book it now, but it is open to anyone. Anyone can come. I suggest being there about like 7:30 and watch party begins at 8. So come on down to Schwartz and Sandy's. I must have done something right because they had me back.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really great time. Great crowd. Like it just was like an extra thing as well as watching the show, you know, and then we were right underneath the TV. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, see, here's an interesting comment that I'm actually very happy. Sydney Sweeney says, yes, 100% agree. Lala's comments didn't bother me since I'm not rabid. That was the point that I was trying to make because Lala's like, the fans online are being, like the Vanderpump fans are being so rabid, they're foaming at the mouth. And so many people like took offense to that. And I was like, well, I mean, like I watch Vanderpump Rules and I would consider myself a fan of the show. And I didn't think that she was speaking about me, but I also don't think that I'm one of those cuckoo birds that's like rabidly, like, you know, attacking people online. So like I didn't take offense to it. And so I was like, I guess if people feel like she was talking about you, then maybe you're a fucking rabid fan that needs to get a life.
Yeah. Go too far.
Which,
I'm
no,
gonna
okay,
do.
can we talk about what I was telling you yesterday, which I didn't want to talk about, but now I'm just like, fuck it. How people are literally trying to trash the Pop Report and Disaster Daters. Like,
I know.
It's one thing that like they were trashing No Filter, and I think they've like brought my rating down to 4.3 or whatever. Which
No, I
at
think
the
it's a
end of the day,
4.9. I think I saw yesterday. Anyway, anybody
no,
just go to Pop Report,
no,
leave.
no Filter, they brought down to 4.3. And when
Oh
they
no.
realized that wasn't, when they were like, when they saw me talk about how successful Pop Report was and Disaster Daters, because both of those debuted in the top 50, then they went and started giving 1-star ratings on those shows to bring down the number, which I want to explain to people. Number one, those are vanity numbers. They don't actually mean anything. Like, yes, it looks nice when you have a solid
Of
5
course.
rating, but like, you're still driving engagement to the show and listening to the show. So they don't do anything. But I was like in my head about it because I was like, fuck, now I feel like I'm dragging Jeff and Andy, who have no opinion about Vanderpump Rules, into this. And like, I felt bad. And I'm like, listen, you can trash me all you want. People trash me on Twitter and on Reddit, and
Send me a DM.
yeah. But like, I'm just like, fuck off. Like, leave the other shows alone. Like, now you are acting like a stupid loser fucking rabid fan.
It's just to do it. I mean, I told you yesterday when I started my podcast, you know, like they were leaving like negative comments before we had the first episode up.
Yeah, it's just people with literally nothing better to do with their lives.
Exactly.
So let's talk about something about her, and let's really stir the
Okay.
pot here. So there's this podcaster. Her name is Sarah Fraser. Okay, are you familiar with Sarah?
I'm not until you sent me the link last night.
Okay. So Sarah has a podcast called The Sarah Fraser Show. And I just want to preface, I don't know her personally. I've met her one time at somebody else's live podcast, I think back in January. Very lovely, right? We had a great chat, like very lovely person. And then we did somebody else's podcast. Oh, the one that we did. It was the Femme Tarot. Remember, we were all on like, that live.
Oh, yes,
so she was on there with us as well. So aside from those two interactions, I haven't had much interaction with Sarah personally. But somebody sent me a link to her podcast, that her emergency podcast that she posted yesterday. And I mean, we were looking online because we grabbed lunch and had coffee yesterday. And we were looking at some of the feedback and all the people on Instagram. Because like I said, we were planning on going to something about her. And I was actually excited about going to something about her.
Me too.
I wanted to try these fucking sandwiches. It's been, 2 years in the making now that like I wanted to try Katie Maloney's bologna sandwich. So we were looking online and seeing, and a lot of people are just like showing how long the line is. And then we see that the POS, which I thought stood for piece of shit, but it's point of sale.
I said that to you yesterday. You're like, what is that? I'm like,
what is it? I was like, POS, what's a piece of shit? So POS stands for point of sale. Their point of sale system went down. So I don't know how they were taking their orders, but Ariana and Katie came out and said that like the system is down. So the orders are going to take a lot slower to do the transactions and to
you have to do it by hand. Then you're getting on a piece of paper, you're writing down the orders. A POS system, if anybody doesn't know it, like all their products will be on like your iPad and you'll be hitting it and then you swipe your card and then take your transaction. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so that went down and it kind of made delays within the line. I mean, people I heard were complaining that they opened maybe about 30 minutes late, that they were supposed to open at 10, but then they opened at 10:30, and then they came out and explained it was because the POS system was down. And then they started, one by one bringing people in. Katie and Ariana were inside the shop the entire time. And so from what I've heard, people would come in, they would get to get a photo with Katie and Ariana, then they would get to make their sale, and then they would get to leave. And so Sarah Fraser did this emergency podcast basically saying that she waited in line for 4.5 hours only to not get anything. Well, first of all, if they closed because they are only open from 10 to 4. So if they close at 4, then in order to be in line for 4.5 hours, you had to have gotten there at what, 12:30?
Yeah.
First of all, mistake number fucking 1. Like, you should have been there at 9.
Yeah.
You should have been there early. And the second we saw that the line was long, we said, fuck no, we'll wait till the hype dies down. Right. So if you're going at 12:30 and you already know that there's going to be a long ass line, then to me, I have some reservations about that. But whatever. She came. She thought she was going to get her sandwich. She said that they waited in line the entire time, that they didn't really get updates of what was happening. 3 of the sandwiches sold out by the end of the day, They didn't know like what the situation was inside and how long it was going to take. There was no communications. She said they weren't given any water. And then as it approached 4 o'clock, someone came out and was basically like, yeah, if you don't, like, we're closing our doors at 4. That's what it is. You know, doors will shut and we're closed if you don't get to the sandwich. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to come back another day. And she said that she was really bothered by that. And she's like, they didn't give us coupons. They didn't give us a free cookie. They weren't passing out samples. I saw people were complaining that it didn't feel like a grand opening because there was no signage and no like balloons of like grand opening. So I saw all of the feedback. Sarah said that I guess Katie and Ariana didn't even come out to take photos with like the people in line. They just stayed inside the restaurant the entire time. And so after her posting this and ranting about waiting that long, not getting any water, not getting any coupons, and not getting her sandwich, she was really upset and like ranted about it on Instagram and then did a 20-minute podcast interview.
Like mad. Like so mad.
I mean, listen, I would be upset too if I waited in line for nearly 5 hours and was basically just asked out without anything. I would be irritated and annoyed, and there's a lack of communication. I would be pissed off about that too.
I know, but like 4.5 hours, like that's your biggest mistake already. Like who waits for 4.5 hours? Like, sorry.
Yeah, I would not wait for 4.5 hours. And the second I saw it start approaching like 4 o'clock and knowing that they were going to close regardless, I would be like, I'm out. Like, I'm not. You know, the second we saw the line, we were literally like, we're not waiting. I wouldn't even wait an hour in a line for a fucking sandwich.
When you go from morning to afternoon to evening, like get out.
I mean, I don't know if it's just that like I have met all of these people. I know them. Like I, just saw Ariana a couple of weeks ago and had a very lovely chat with her. So I don't know if it's that I'm not like trying to get a selfie, whereas I feel like a lot of people that are driving in, like they love the show and they want to meet them, and like that's the exciting hype about going to something about her and supporting them and meeting them. Like I was talking to my friend Jacques about this, and we both agreed we're like they should have at least come out and walked the line and took selfies
100%.
with everyone, thanked them for coming. Like that would have been the nice thing for them to do, to acknowledge that people came. Because at the end of the day, people care more about the selfie than they do about actually eating the fucking sandwich.
Of course. It's like I heard like there was like some videos and stuff like where Sarah posted and she was like, Ariana was pretty close to her and she was saying congratulations and all that stuff. But I guess she was going out to grab stuff to bring inside.
Yeah.
But like they take the selfies.
That's my thing, is their job should not have been working the counter or serving or doing any of their job should have been a fan hype. Like that's all they should have had, a staff and a team that was covering everything else. And their sole job should have been just doing audience interaction. One, because if people get their selfies, they're going to post about it. They're going to be so excited. And that experience is going to be great for them, that when they post about it, that's good marketing for something about her.
Yeah.
It's easy, free promotion. It's good marketing. It shows that people are there. They're happy. They're getting to meet them, which tells other people, oh, then I will make the 2-hour drive to go out there if I get to meet them and take a photo with them. And this, Barbara chick with her, bad Bill Butch body is out here, getting her selfie with Ariana. Like maybe it's worth it because Barbara looks like she's happy and having a good time, which again would have been a great, easy marketing hack. Now, I understand it is opening day. So there's a grace period that we also need to have for them, understanding the show is super popular right now. People have been expecting something about her to open up for a very long time, that I think they were ill prepared and could have definitely worked on things better. Do I care if there's balloons or not? Not really.
No. It's like, as a chef, like, and I've worked in so many establishments over the years and stuff. Like, first of all, they're on one of the biggest shows on Bravo. Like, they're famous. People want to see them. You're going to get a line, even if they want a sandwich or not, because they know they're going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, the sandwich thing, they should have made a makeshift fucking kitchen out of the back of Sir. Like, table set up, just making sandwiches, passing them out, hire more staff. So you're like almost like setting up like an outside like catering operation that nobody sees. And they still bring the sandwiches through the restaurant. They should have made like, I don't know, 50 sandwiches of each pre-prepared for that rush at the beginning, just to get them out the door. If the POS system is down, fuck it. give them the free sandwich. Like, stop trying to work it out. It's like, it's your opening day. If you take a small loss, sandwiches are $16. It's probably going to cost $2.50, $3 to make that sandwich. Like, you can lose a few sandwiches, but for people to come away not getting anything, no photographs, anything like that, it's very amateur, because like they should have been like, there's going to be 500 people today. We need to have food for 500 people. If they don't, and they need to throw some food away at the end of the day, give it to homeless people, whatever, so what? Take the $200 loss. It's like, it's no big deal, but everybody's happy.
I also feel like they should have expected this, because Ariana did, remember, right after Scandival last summer, she did a Raising Cane's promotion where she was serving at Raising Cane's, and that was busy and that line was long. So I don't know how they didn't anticipate that this was going to be as big of, as big of a production as it was. But I hate that people are, one, dragging Sarah Fraser or dragging anybody that has criticism of opening day. One, yes, opening day is going to come with its hiccups, but like, that's when you as a business need to figure out where those weak spots are and where those hiccups are, so you can better prepare for that in the future. Everyone's like saying like, oh, Sarah, she's just a troll and she's more of a Subway girl than a something about her girl anyway. And I'm just like, why are we dragging this woman? Like,
that was her experience.
That was her experience. Her experience is fucking valid. Like, she waited in line for 4.5 hours. I wouldn't do it. I don't think most other people would do that. But listen, she's entitled to rant about her experience there. And her experience was that she hated it. And people were like, oh, she was just going there with an agenda to want to hate on something about her. When I was like, I feel like if I were to go, like, people would probably say the same thing, because, I've expressed that my opinion aligns more with Lala's opinion. But I was genuinely looking forward to going yesterday and trying the sandwiches and like checking out the experience. I would have had a wine. I would have had a lover boy. I don't know. I would have done something and at least tried to experience it as a real customer. I wasn't going to ask for a freebie. I was going to pay for whatever I got. Like, I wasn't looking to do anything other than experience it. And when she does wait in line and she feels like her time was wasted because nobody really acknowledged that she waited in line for that long. Like, I think that that's a valid experience, and it's just good feedback. It's healthy criticism, whether it's a Karen behavior or, Yelpy 1-star behavior, fine. But like, you're going to have those types of customers, and you're going to need to know how to, better prepare yourself in the future. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I feel like also they should have used it as like no matter what happened in the day, yes, make a bit of profit, great. But like, I think their primary focus should have been like, let's market the shit out of this business today. Get out there, take photographs with everybody. Look, people were going like, why were they not passing out samples and so forth? Okay, the people that are making the sandwiches are going to also have to make samples. So that's taken them away from actually making sandwiches for the people that actually paid for them. So like, that's not going to work. As I said, they should have maybe hired a little catering company, like out the back somewhere, just passing out samples, making the sandwiches like kind of elsewhere offsite.
Or the Katie and Ariana thing. Like, it would have been cute if they would have rented like a truck for the day. And did a cute little something about her pop up outside.
Super cute.
So the inside experience was for people that want to dine in and maybe get a glass of wine with their sandwich. But then you have people moving through the line in the truck. And those things, listen, they have a marketing budget. And the other thing that I noticed that people called them out on is they had this big sponsorship with Lay's at BravoCon. And they don't even have Lay's available at their sandwich shop. They're selling the little kettle,
the more like artisan chips,
which is cute. But I was like, they could have really leaned into that Lay's sponsorship, and Lay's could have come and sponsored the truck the same way they sponsored the little DIY kits that they were sending people out for BravoCon. Like, they could have really done something to make the experience for opening day like a better experience for fans, even if the truck was rented just for the weekend, right? Wednesday through Sunday.
Would have been really cool.
It would have been cool. It would have been cute. It would have been a great photo op. It would have been a perfect marketing opportunity. There were just points that I feel like they could have really done better upon. But again, grace for this being their first business.
I feel like something would have been cute too. Like, all those disappointed people that, it closed, and would say, look, there could have been 50, 70, 100 people outside that didn't get anything. Like, they should have known that was going to happen. Be like, you know what, guys, let's just go to fucking Staples, get like a roll of like tickets or something. Give each person a ticket. Like, if you come back tomorrow, you're first in the door.
Line. That's
if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to come back tomorrow, you're first in line.
Guaranteed.
We'll have,
Uh-huh.
an express Disneyland line to the
Yes.
left and a lineup line to the right, and everyone that's in the express line gets to get in first.
Yes,
It's
simple.
a fast
Super
pass.
simple.
That's
Yeah.
smart. That's smart.
I should
Again,
open a sandwich shop.
we
I
need
need
to
to.
go, when we go in, we'll be like, here are our notes. Take the feedback. I think that would have been a really smart idea.
Yeah.
And then those people would have felt like their time wasn't wasted because then
For
they
sure.
were expressed for the next day.
I mean, look, if anybody knows like Katie, Ariana, I'll go down and help them. I'll help them out. No problem. Free labor.
Well, not free labor.
Get a sandwich.
Listen, they sold a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah.
They can afford to pay you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying something about her. I also heard that they have gluten-free bread. I don't eat gluten, so I was looking forward to having a gluten-free Cameron sandwich or a Drew sandwich.
Yeah. I can't wait to go in August.
In August. No, I think the hype will die down in like the first 2 weeks.
That's what you said yesterday. There's like 300 people there.
But like,
you're like, it's fine. The hype died down. It's a Wednesday.
No, but because everyone, like you said, I didn't think about the fact like people were going to be driving in from this. People from Inland Empire aren't going to be coming daily. They want to be there for opening day. I don't even need Katie and Ariana to be there when I go. I just want to go to experience it. The shop and eat the sandwich. I also heard that the assistant Anne, they have her working as the manager at something about her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm kind of over assistant Anne. She's kind of annoying to me.
She was cute. She was really cute in that Duracell commercial. Was it Duracell recently?
Oh God, that was so annoying.
I thought she was kind of cute.
I mean, she was cute for like the first 2 episodes she appeared on Vanderpump Rules, and now I'm just like, now she launched a podcast, and now she's like,
okay,
and now she has a podcast, and she's like, and her podcast is called "I Didn't Sign an NDA" because she wants to talk about what it's like to work for Tom Sandoval, and now she's doing the Duracell commercials, and like she's posting on Instagram Team Ariana with her little cheerleader outfit. I'm just like, oh God, like you're doing the most, and it's just annoying. Sorry, I know I'm misogynistic and I hate women. That's what Twitter tells me. Like, okay, I don't. Yeah, obviously I don't, but that's just what the internet likes to tell me. And I'm like, okay, what else? What am I today? I'm racist. I'm homophobic. I'm xenophobic. I beat up all the homeless and the toothless.
Oh, okay. Let's move on. Where it gets really like dark.
But listen, congrats to Katie and Ariana. We will be there at some point.
For sure.
Will taste the sandwiches. We'll review the sandwiches at some point with, excitement because I am excited to get in there. But congrats on opening. We'll see how the line continues to. I'm sure it'll be busy this weekend because once people aren't working, they'll actually. I'm
definitely going to drive by it today
for sure. Yeah, I'll drive by it today and see.
Totally. Yeah, I'll text you.
See how long the line is. Okay, let's talk about. Did you see? Speaking of Karen's ranting about businesses, Bethany Frankel was rejected by Chanel.
I saw the 2 videos.
She went on TikTok and she's just like, oh my God. And her hair is a hot ass mess and she's in sweats and she has like a bag of Garrett's popcorn fresh off a plane. I'm just like, why do you even look like that? But whatever. That's Bethany.
Popcorn. Like
Garrett's popcorn.
Throw in the trash. Like.
Well, she was coming from the airport in Chicago, so she bought her Garrett's popcorn. They have that little pop-up.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, I have my Garrett's popcorn and I wanted to go into Chanel.
Oh my God, don't let me in. It's like, what the fuck?
There's security there. And she says that she went, and listen, we've been to like these stores. They have security. They are very mindful of like how many people they let in the store. And, they're very.
I feel like this happened though. Like I remember like going like every so often walk down Rodeo and stuff like that. And you could freely go into a store.
Yeah.
When the pandemic happened, and after that, now it's this whole, there's like these ropes outside, you have to wait your turn, all this kind of stuff. That never happened before on Rodeo.
That's because people were doing the smash and grabs. Remember that?
True.
People were robbing these stores. So now they had to beef up their security and they had to be a little more mindful. But so she talks about how she wanted to visit Chanel in Chicago, walks up to the door, and she says that the man opens up the door just a crack, and he's like, can I help you? And she's just like, yeah, can I shop? He's like, do you have an appointment? And she's just like, no, I don't have an appointment. He's like, oh, sorry.
She's like, I don't have an appointment, I have a credit card.
Yeah, she's like, I have a credit card. Like, I'm willing to spend money. and he would not let her in because he said she didn't have an appointment. And so she was like ranting on the side of the street, and she's just like, this is ridiculous. And I shop at Chanel all the time. And then she went and she changed and she put all of her best Chanel on, and she got all dolled up and put on a little lipstick, combed her hair, ditched the crab legs, and then decides that she's going to go back to Chanel. And she walks in this time, and security's right there, and they say hello to her, and they open the door to her, and they let her right in. And she walks in, and someone's filming her, and she walks right in, no issues, nothing.
But do
So
you know what was like kind of annoying about that? Like,
what?
okay, she has the whole point, like, I'm dressed up now, I can go in. She fucking literally walks in and just walks back out.
Yeah.
Like, prove my
Well,
point. Bye. Like, go shopping because you wanted to go in there in the first
no,
place.
well, no, I wouldn't go shopping if I were her. She wanted to prove the point. They already turned her down. I'd be like, fuck your store. I'm
She's
not
like
going
this. She's
there.
they're like, how many is there of you? She's like 2, and then the other woman just stays outside filming.
I
Like,
know.
doesn't even go in. It's funny.
So she went on TikTok and she's like, look it, they let me in. And she threw a big tantrum, and now the press is picking up on it and talking about it. And I saw there was this other guy. He was on his story was really funny. He was on TikTok and he talked about how he was a personal assistant and to this very wealthy family. And he remembers that this prominent and wealthy woman that he
Mhm.
worked for had some samples at Chanel that she
Yeah.
needed him to go and pick up. And he says that he went to the Chanel store, or no, it wasn't Chanel. It wasn't the store. It was Chanel at Bergdorf. And he goes in, walks up to the counter, and because he's like, I'm in sweats, I wasn't like properly
Sure.
shaved, like I was a little disheveled. He's like, the two women at the counter completely ignored me and like wouldn't acknowledge me, didn't want to talk to me. And he even said, like, hello, can somebody help me? And they like continued to talk amongst themselves and completely ignored him. And then he was standing there for so long and like, been like, hello, can I get some assistance? Finally, one of them was like, yes, can I help you? And then he's like, hi, I'm here to pick up some samples for so and so. And he dropped the woman's name. And she's like, oh my God, oh my God. And then
Yeah.
she calls the other woman. She's like, oh my God, he's here for so and so. And oh my God. And they're like, oh, and they're like running around and grabbing the samples, and they give him the samples and like, oh, here you go. And they're like all frantic about it. And he's like, it was so weird because they didn't acknowledge me until they saw who I was or they heard who I was working with, who was a very, successful, wealthy, prominent person. And then from there, he ends up going home and telling the rich, famous lady that, this is his experience. And she was so upset about it. And she called
Yeah.
up the store and she calls up Chanel and she's, telling them about how terrible they were to this guy that worked for her. And, they should respect him regardless and blah, blah, blah. Right. And they felt so bad. And then, he talks about how he's like, and then a week later, I walked into her house and she's like, oh my God, Chanel felt so bad about what they did to you that they decided to give us 2 front row seats to the Milan fashion show.
Wow.
She's like, and
Nice.
it's so exciting. And he's like, in his head, he's like, oh my God, like this is amazing. I've never been outside of the US, like a Milan fashion
No,
show
don't
front
tell me what's
row.
going to happen.
That's
Go ahead.
crazy. And she's just like, I know, isn't that so sweet of them? I can't wait to take my daughter.
I fucking knew you were going to say that. Oh my
And
God.
he was just like, oh, okay.
Somebody is saying in the comments, like Pretty Woman 2.0. Big
Yeah,
mistake. Huge. It's
huge.
amazing.
Well, it's so funny though, but it's like, when are these stores actually gonna learn?
Yeah. I'm like really quickly. My mom used to own like a
I've
like a
never been
woman's
turned down by
woman's
any of these
woman's
stores.
boutique in Ireland, and I like she'd all different types of women like coming in and out the other day, and I guess she one day whatever she might have been in a bad mood, whatever. A woman came in, disheveled, whatever that. My mom, she even admitted she was like, I was kind of rude to her. I kind of like I thought she was going to steal something, this, that, and the other, and I guess she went to the store next door. She left because she was like, my mom was a bitch, whatever. And so she left and she walked by with like bags and bags of clothes. My mom was like, I will never, ever do that again. And she learned her lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happens.
it
Hmm.
does happen. So yeah, good for Bethany for making it into Chanel. But I mean, it's also like some of these employees that like literally like just because they work there and they're wearing free samples or they're wearing
Yeah,
discounted samples because they work there. You never know who's going to be walking in and who has money.
never. You never know, especially in LA, like or wherever. Like, you know what I mean? People just go in sweats all the time. They might be wearing Balenciaga trainers and
Especially
stuff.
in
Like,
LA.
yeah,
Yeah. So
insane.
I wonder how Chanel's going to respond though now that it's getting so much attention.
Well,
Because I mean, like, here's the thing.
they could have literally been like, we were full. We had no appointments that day. Unfortunate for her, she looked like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They could easily say that.
Yeah. But then why was she so easily able to walk in the next day?
Because maybe it wasn't that busy. Maybe they didn't have that many appointments. I mean, they can easily argue that, unfortunately.
I was seeing on TikTok, people were like, TJ Maxx would never. TJ Maxx.
That's amazing. Maybe they saw her shopping at TJ Maxx on TikTok and they were like, she's not coming in here.
I don't think they know who the fuck she is.
No, they didn't.
Do you remember her TJ Maxx days? Remember when she had that bag of makeup that she went to give the woman Consuela that worked there? She's like, hi, this is my friend. What's your name? And she's like, Consuela, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, hi, Consuela. I have this bag of used makeup that I don't want anymore and I want to give it to you. And the woman's like, oh, no, we're not allowed to take it. She's like, what do you mean you're not allowed to take it? I'm Bethany Frankel. I will call the CEO of TJ Maxx and let him know that it is okay that you take it. And the woman's like, please leave me alone. Like, stop filming me.
But that's the thing. Like, just give them the stuff. Don't film it.
Yeah.
Try to be the good Samaritan. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Wait, did you see the video of Tom Sandoval? I think it was the Vanderpump Rules after show. And he was talking about how to give to homeless people.
No, I didn't see that. Go and tell me.
Okay, so he's like, it's a good thing to give back to the homeless. He's like, but the best way to give a homeless person money, and like not like get attention from it. He's like, so this is what I do. He's like, I get like $100 bill. And he's like, and it's not easy to give a homeless person $100 bill. And he's like, you walk up to them and you're like, hey man, can you hold this for me? And then you throw it at them and then you just walk away real fast.
Can you hold it? Then you throw it at them.
Yeah. He's like, can you hold this for me? And you like toss it into their cup or toss it at them, $100 bill. And he's like, and that's what you do. You give a homeless person $100 and that's how you do it. But like, you do it like real nonchalantly. I'm like, something about that just doesn't seem nonchalant to me. That's
and you're
very
telling everybody that you do it.
And you're on the Vanderpump Rules after show telling everybody that this is what you do.
Yeah.
It was just funny that you just throw $100 bills at a homeless person. Like, what? You can throw $100 bill at me. I wouldn't mind.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. That's 2 cocktails in LA.
Pretty much now. They're like, what, $28 a cocktail, something like that?
Insane,
jeez, it's just too much now. It's crazy.
I know. But yeah, that was Bethany's adventures. And then now we have the season 5 premiere of The Kardashians. Are you keeping up with The Kardashians?
I don't keep up with The Kardashians, but I watch it like, I might be cleaning on a Sunday and I put on in the background and stuff like that. It starts tonight, right? Or today?
Today. I was watching the premiere. I have the first 2 episodes, the screeners that they send me. But I started watching the first episode this morning and it wasn't bad. But I saw that like Kim Kardashian, they have Gypsy Rose on the show this season. And Kim goes to meet Gypsy Rose, which is interesting. I'm like, is this like a prison reform thing? Like, why is Kim meeting with Gypsy Rose? Also, we don't need to do prison reform for Gypsy Rose. Did you see her Mother's Day video?
Yeah. I choose not to like think about that. I choose to see the good parts of her or something. Like, was it something like that?
She was like, she's like, it's Mother's Day. And obviously, like, I can't not acknowledge like my mom's not around. It's like, well, I fucking wonder why your mom's not around, bitch. Like, you fucking killed her. Like, what am I watching? And she's just like, and even though she wasn't a good mother, like, I choose to not think about the bad parts of her. I choose to only focus on the good parts of her. I was like, that's a mentality you just should have had before you killed her. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe we should have thought about the good parts of her before we whacked her. Like, it was very interesting.
What were the good parts? Wasn't she like giving her medication all the way through?
Yeah, I don't know what the good. I honestly don't know. She's like, even though I didn't like this woman, she'll always be my mother. I'm like, yeah, just from the other side now.
Jesus.
It was interesting. But so I'm curious as to what Kim Kardashian could possibly be meeting Gypsy Rose over.
I guess over the whole, because isn't she like an attorney now, or did she pass the bar?
No. Yes. No. I don't know. Yes. The baby bar.
I think she did, right?
She passed the baby bar, I believe.
At the baby bar. Okay. So, I mean, it's probably about that and prison and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You were unfairly charged, blah, blah, whatever. I don't know.
Who was unfairly charged?
She killed her. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
but didn't the boyfriend kill her? But then she was like,
she like convinced the boyfriend to do it. And then she's like, well, I didn't do it. My boyfriend did it. But like, they like plotted together on how they were going to kill the mom. And then they did. How did they kill her?
I can't remember that. And I did watch the Hulu, like the show with
I didn't. Let me see.
oh, it was a good show.
How did Gypsy Rose kill her
Was
mom?
was it a gun? Did they shoot her?
They shot her? Oh my God, that's so violent.
I think I don't know. I'm just making up things right now.
Oh, here we go. Okay. The murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Gypsy let her boyfriend in and allegedly gave him duct tape, gloves, and a knife with the understanding that he would use it to murder Dee Dee. Gypsy hid in the bathroom and covered her ears so that she would not hear her mother screaming. He then stabbed her 17 times in the back while she was asleep.
Oof.
Oh my God.
That's really gruesome.
You got, and why are we celebrating Gypsy Rose and her new nose?
I thought she deleted her. Like, did she get a new nose?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to. But she go back on. I thought she deleted her Instagram. Now she's back on it.
I don't know. Is she?
I don't know. I mean, I followed her because I did like to see kind of her messages.
Yeah. She says that she regrets killing her mother. She said that she tried to run away, but now she regrets killing her. That's why she gave him everything and then waited in the bathroom as he murdered the mom and covered her ear. Like that's crazy.
That's a breaking point. That really is. It's just like, wow. Oof. Well, that's a nice, like, happy moment for a Thursday.
Good for her. Well, I mean, back to the Kardashians. I saw a clip of Courtney, or not Courtney. Well, I guess the show opens with Courtney talking about having fetal surgery on her baby.
Okay.
Which was interesting. I mean,
Is it dramatic? Is it like very dramatic? Yeah.
No, it was dramatic because I mean, she literally they had to like open up the sac and like do surgery on the baby inside her stomach, which is crazy. And so she talks about that. But there was a scene where Khloe talks about how when she was 14 years old, Chris used to make her drive the kids to school in the morning. When Khloe was 14, didn't have a license, and she was like, yeah, my mom told me that I had a government issued license that they just gave me that I was able to use to drive. And so she's like, I was just driving the kids to school. And then she's like, I remember one time I took my mom to the Standard and she had one too many cocktails. And so I'm driving her home on the freeway because it was just the two of us. She's like, I'm driving her home on the freeway. And then my mom starts throwing up all over me while I'm driving on the freeway at 14 years old. And Chris
never heard that. That's insane.
Chris is just like, times were different back then.
It's okay. It's okay. You're doing great, sweetie.
What? You're doing amazing.
Amazing, sweetie. Yeah. Oh. Actually, I have Anna Roseman on my podcast tomorrow. I think we're shooting it tomorrow for next Tuesday. So she'll probably pull out a Kris Jenner impersonation, I'm sure.
That'll be funny.
Yeah.
How is the podcast doing? Don't let it stew.
It's doing good. It's doing really good. I think we're like you did episode 12 with me yesterday. Yeah. Episode 12. It's good. It's steady. Like, I'm just having fun with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's great. It's polishing up on my like interview skills and things like that. And it's just, I'm just having a good time with it. And yeah, it's doing well. People are listening. So it's great.
There you go. Don't let it stew. You got a lot of things off your chest this week. So people need to go and listen to our episode on Don't Let It Stew.
I did.
I was actually surprised that like we didn't get dragged into some Reddit mess because of that.
I know. Yeah. I thought I asked my friend who goes on them and he said like there wasn't really anything. There wasn't anything. Good. Unless that changes today from 9 to 11.
Had to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is fun. Thanks for coming on.
This is fun, of course. Anytime. This is so
fun. Are you coming to Schwartz and Sandy's on Tuesday?
I will definitely be there, of course. I had a blast that time we went.
It was fun, and this time Schwartz said he'll have a table saved for us because we were like in the corner last time. But that was because I told him, I was like, no, I felt so proud of myself. I was like, I don't need a table, Schwartz. I went on Resi and I reserved my own table for the night.
Yeah.
Only to then realize the day of that I didn't make a reservation for that night. I made the reservation for another night by accident.
And we're hanging out in the corner. I'm like, aren't you like reviewing this tomorrow? I'm like, you're not able to see it.
Yeah, we're like in the corner, and like as they're trying to like pass drinks, and it was. Listen, we made it work. We were passing out shots. I got so drunk that night, and then I had to run. I had to do a 1 mile benchmark at 6 a.m. the next morning.
Oh, no, I had one or too many martinis, but I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Come
fun.
by.
We'll be back at it on Tuesday. Schwartz and Sandy's doors open, I believe, at 6. So, and watch party starts at 8. So come on down to Schwartz and Sandy's to come hang with us. We're watching the Vanderpump Rules reunion, part 3, the conclusion, where we see the big Ariana versus Lala showdown.
Oh, really? Okay, that'll be good.
Were people mad when we were talking about something about her?
I don't think so.
Okay, were you monitoring the live chat?
Somebody said I was wrong about like it's a $200 loss. I'm literally just talking about the bread. Like if they had to throw away a few loaves of bread and stuff like that, like it wouldn't be that. But I think it just should have it should have been a complete like marketing day.
Look
if
at
stuff
Michelle.
Fucked up or whatever.
Michelle said that you can get paid in bologna and kettle chips.
Love. That's amazing.
Nikki says, I'm going there on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. I'm willing to wait until 10:45. By that time, I'll be ready for a sandwich. You're going to wait in line. Okay.
Should be okay. 9:30. That's like an hour and 15 minutes. That's good.
Yeah. Small business budget for a grand opening, details and decorations. Can't even walk outside and thank everyone. Yeah, I mean, some people were, critique. They gave a lot of free food and drinks for soft opening for the filming. Well, they filmed that they filmed like how many of those?
There was like what, 20 people in there?
Remember on the show, Lala's like, I already tasted this sandwich last summer when you I don't know why I'm tasting it again, but like, all amazing. Right, tastes just as
so
good
funny.
as last year.
That's pretty funny. She's like, oh God, we have to do it again?
Yeah. And Pamela says, for a 4.5-hour wait, they better what massage? I mean, listen, I would not wait that long. But you always said that you like and support Ariana, so anyone who actually listens wouldn't think that you're there maliciously. Yeah, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't go maliciously.
I mean, Milo, come on.
I love that your dog's barking.
He's just barking right now.
This is what we do.
He was good all through, and now he just starts.
Boozy Bitch says they should have known that it was going to be crazy. I agree with Stu. They should have been over prepared, and they could have given a few away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
End of the day, you just want people happy walking out the door. Yeah, or if they didn't get in, just get the fucking photographs, give them a ticket, do what. You just want people happy. That's it. That's all it's about.
Yeah. I'm in the Inland Empire, and I would not drive there to stand in line.
I like that person. I wouldn't either.
Oh, yay. Nikki B is coming to Schwartz and Sandy's on Tuesday.
Oh, great.
There we go. All right. Well, and Nicola says that she loves the podcast too.
Well, I just got a notification that my public statement is being talked about.
Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. What's being said?
I don't know. I just have somebody DMing me right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He said it's bothersome. Whatever. That's who I am. It's my character. That's not saying anything else.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, listen, I've already
move on.
I've been added onto the blacklist on that show. So I have. All right. Well, this was fun. Thanks for coming on, Stu. I'll see you on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll
get to go next week.
Maybe we'll try to hit up something about her on Tuesday before we go to Schwartz and Sandy's. Did you see Schwartz was the only one that promoted it?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, none of the other cast members gave them a shout out or anything. Schwartz gave them a shout out on Instagram stories.
They all should have. Just
and people in line said that not only did Lisa not go, she didn't go to any of the soft openings or the grand opening, but they said that Ken drove by.
Yeah.
And he looked out the window and kept driving.
Oh, they're busy.
I mean, they have restaurants run. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Filter with Zack Peter. Go and check out Don't Let It Stew. It's Stu's podcast. Give him a nice 5-star review.
Please. Thank you.
Yes, give him good. We only encourage good reviews here. Check out the Pop Report. We have a new episode out now, and we have a new episode dropping this Friday with our very first special guest. So you're going to want to check that out. Check out the Pop Report. Catch up on Disaster Daters. I'm now starting to upload full video episodes to YouTube leading up to the second season premiere. We have a lot of fun planned for season 2 of Disaster Daters, so get ready for that. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for supporting. Give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack if you want to keep up with all the latest reality TV tea. And follow Stu because
at Chef Stu O'Keeffe or at Chef Stu or whatever. Yeah, Chef Stewart. Yeah.
go follow Stu. He does lots of fun cooking videos. He like makes
Recipes.
salads and pizzas, and you're always making a salad. Every time I go on there, it's like today.
Well, the La Scala salad was a really popular one that hit a lot of views. So that's probably, you probably saw that a few times.
Oh, maybe. I'm like, he's always making salads.
I know.
All right, thanks guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao for now. Bye.